Fatulaeva Shahina.
Hi, the topic I chose for my speech is qualities of a good teacher. And the reason I chose this topic is because I have been in experience with many different teachers. And I have seen how good teachers can be and how bad teachers can be. Throughout my 8 years in school life, I have experienced different teachers with different personalities, different teaching methods, and different nationalities, different places where they study. And due to this, I knew how good teachers and bad teachers could be. In my first opinion, I think that a good teacher should always be positive. We go to school to get the positive and useful education and positivity from a teacher, not to get hurt or the negative feelings from them. For example, let's say a student failed in an exam. The teacher shouldn't just stand up and start yelling at the student that he doesn't try, that he didn't study at all, and he cannot do anything. Or the most that I've heard is comparison. Should this teacher stand up and start comparing the student who couldn't do well with the best student of the class, saying, "Look, you cannot do as well as he did. Why couldn't you be more like him?" Teachers shouldn't make the student feel compressed or depressed by comparing them with another student. Instead, after school, he could call the student and say, what was his problem, or did he not understand any of the questions in the exam? And this is how he can help, not by yelling and comparing. Secondly is the education. Teacher should have a good interaction with the student by having a student and teacher language. The topic is always hard for students, a new topic. Some students get it easily and some students don't get it that easily. And that is why if a teacher explains it with hard terms like new words, some students will not get it. And this will lead to misunderstandings and extra confusion. That's why a teacher should help the student by explaining in the simplest forms, so all the students get it equally, and this will not lead to any misunderstandings or extra confusion. I once had a teacher. She knew her subject so well. I felt it. She knew what she was saying and what she was doing. But the problem was, I didn't really get her subject because she explained it in very hard terms and had very hard words. I hardly understood what she was saying. And then this led to me thinking that this lesson isn't good and that I don't like this subject. But if she had made it more interest in this subject for me, she could have explained it to me in easier words and terms. And maybe I would have liked this topic. And thirdly is the teacher's will. Teachers should want to study and to teach the teachers more. No one is perfect, even teachers. Teachers can always do extra studies for themselves. And if there is no will in the teacher to work with kids or to teach them, then the students will not feel motivated or enthusiastic by the lesson. Teachers shouldn't be forced to work or to work only for the money. Being a teacher is a very important job. You be a teacher and teach kids because they are the future. They are who lead the modern world. And if a child is depressed from their young youth because of teachers who couldn't motivate them and lead them to the future and the life ahead of them, then there is no future. We are students and we need good teachers to motivate us so we can learn more. And fourth point is that teachers should be fun, kind, and always polite. They should teach the students manner and how to be a human. They should teach them how life will work, the hard truths. I love my teachers. Some of my teachers strongly educated me. And some of my teachers, they taught me the life roots. And then I could be ready for my future. And when a teacher is not willing, he will not want. What if a teacher comes to school because he's angry, he's depressed because his private life was ruined, and comes and spreads his negativity to the teacher, to the students? Then how will the students feel? Of course, they will feel that something's wrong, and they will also be upset, and they won't get all the knowledge that they need. So to wrap it all up, my point is that you shouldn't be a teacher if you don't want to. Be a teacher because you're willing to, and that you can be sure of yourself that the students you teach will be motivated by you, and that they will be sure that they believe in you, and that you have the confidence. Teachers should always like what they do, their job, and so what I want to say is a good teacher is their will, their education, and mostly, even if they're not that educated, they should be inspiring. They should inspire the student so that he will be interested and enthusiastic in the lesson, so that he can go home and learn more on this topic. If the teacher, let's say he's not that well educated, but he's smart enough that he can inspire the students so well that they will go home and they will study by themselves. They will learn more and they will get more in their brain than the teacher could give. So that, I think it's all, and thanks for your attention.